1 Kings chapter 19, verse 19. And this will kind of start us off from last week. So Elijah went and found Elisha, the son of Shaphat, plowing a field with a team of oxen. There were 11 teams of oxen ahead of him, and he was plowing with the 12. Elijah went over to him and threw his cloak around his shoulders and walked away again. Elisha left the oxen standing there, ran after Elisha, and said to him, "First let me go kiss my father and my mother goodbye, then I will go with you." Elijah replied, "Go on back, but consider what I have done to you." Elisha then returned to his oxen, killed them, and used the wood from the plow to build a fire to roast their flesh. He passed around the meat to the other plowmen, and they all ate. Then he went with Elijah as his servant. So we talked last week about burning the plow. Burning the plow. There's no plan B. Because if there is a plan B, we're always tempted to go back to that which is safe instead of focusing on what God's asked us to do. Anybody struggle with that whole plow burning thing from last week? I know Stephen did, to the point of where he was angry yesterday in the woods. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Angry to the point of throwing a quote-unquote fit, childish fit, in the woods. Anybody else though? Anybody struggle with that concept? Because if you didn't struggle, then you're not listening. Because what he's saying is, hey, quit trying to rely on yourself. Focus on me. Get rid of plan B. So I told Stephen, I said, well, it's good that you struggle with it because today we're going to talk about something that's going to help us burn the plow. Because that's kind of a big leap. I mean, just to bail on your family and say, hey, I'm going to go focus on what God's called. In reality, how many of us could really do that in just one big jump? Anybody could. It takes baby steps. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Baby steps. Stephen had texted me, 6 weeks ago when he said, I'm struggling with the fact that, maybe God's calling me to sell my Jeep and use that money to feed the poor. Maybe so. But we got to build that faith step by step instead of just taking that great big leap. Okay? So, here's what I want you to focus on as we talk today. I want you to focus on looking at this message through the lens of your greatest need. Focus on the message through the lens of your greatest need. That could be spiritual, could be financial, it could be emotional, it could be a combination of all three. Okay? But really focus on where your greatest need is at. Here's the context. Context before we read into 2 Kings. There are 3 kings that have joined forces to do battle against the Moabites. Now, the Moabites are the bad guys. Okay? So these 3 kings get together with their armies, and they think, hey, 3 armies against 1 army probably should be a pretty easy victory. Well, not so much, because what happened, and here are the kings. The kings are King Joram from Israel, King Jehoshaphat out of Judah, and then King of Edom, which was kind of tagging along for the ride. So there's your 3 kings. They realized that the battle was not going to be very easy, so they took this roundabout way to try to attack. But the long way around. Now, it was a 7-day roundabout, and they ran out of water. Didn't have any water to drink. So now all of a sudden, their addresses, they had a significant need. They had no water. Okay?